So we have toggled on Open Object Import Wizard. When we click OK, we'll start that Object Import Wizard, or import data. So we're going to import some data, again our existing ground surface that we created. That file happens to be a TIN file, but at this point we could also bring in the ASCII data file that we created, or a binary DAT file, or a land XML file. Our file is in the TIN, so we're going to use that. And we just need to tell it the TIN file name. You can use the Browse button, or you can key in the name. Select ground.tin in this case, and click Next. Now we're going to import this in as a ground type object. So again, based on reviewing our object preferences previously, the ground comes in at an interval of 25 and 5, and they're blue and white contour lines. You can leave the object name as is, or you could give it your own personal name. You can type in existing ground or what have you. And I'll go ahead and leave it in as ground. Now I can click Next, and GeoPack is going to create a new object called ground1. That object type will be ground, and its source file is the ground.tin. And we have one last choice. We can use this as the base object for our model. That being, everything's going to be built off of ground. That becomes the base that everything gets modeled off of. And indeed that is the case with this particular data that I'm bringing in, so I do want to use that option and make it the base of my model. I click OK, and GeoPack imports the TIN file and brings it in as an object called ground1, and it's the only object at this point in my model called tower. Now, just like in the Edit TIN, the graphics are there. As I zoom in, zoom out, we refresh them, but they're not selectable graphics. They're only display only. At this point, I'm gonna exit out of my project, and we'll start a new exercise. And when you exit Modeler, you can go up to the pull-down menu under Modeler, and you can go Exit. And you'll be asked to save. So every time you exit your project, you'll be asked to save that project, even if you just saved it. So I'll go ahead and say yes, I would like to save it, and it'll exit out of Site Modeler, and the graphics will go away. And at this point, I'll go ahead and get out of PowerCivil. And we'll start Chapter 4 exercise next.